Welcome to Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. For the first time in a month, it's a true home game for the 4th-ranked UConn Huskies taking on the improving Providence Friars tonight here on The Deuce. Good to see everyone with Bill Raftery, Mike Tirico. Jim Calhoun has told us during the year this isn't his best pressing team. It's not his best rebounding team, maybe not his best shooting team, but there are a couple of best for this 4th-ranked UConn team. Maybe his best passing team and the best player he's ever coached in Ray Allen.
A superior player. They're doing a lot of things well, but a lot of it stems from Ray Allen and his attitude. He has a presence, much like yourself, on the floor, leader by quality motion, unselfish. You see him run the floor, the deep range, the ability when you drawn to him to put it on the floor and go by and finish with a great deal of aplomb. Strong, great attitude, wonderful to watch perform.
He scores 24 a game, even though he's the main go-to guy. Providence playing their best ball. They've won 3 straight. But the problem for the Friars, will they become the 21st team to go down in a row? The Huskies and Ray Allen have won 20 straight. They go for number 21 on ESPN2 when you come back to Storrs. On the UConn campus, Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, it is sold out once again. 57th consecutive Big East game sold out for UConn, whether here in Storrs or in Hartford, Connecticut, about a half hour to our west. Let's check the Burger King starting lineup, starting with the Huskies. Daron Sheffer doesn't get the publicity because of Ray Allen, but the 6'5" guard is averaging nearly 16 points per game. For Pete Gillen's Providence Friars, Michael Brown, the only senior on this team, averaging 11.5 a game, but in the first meeting between these teams, Brown was held to just 4 points. We mentioned Providence playing their best basketball of the season. They've won 3 straight, 4 of their last 5, at 5-6 in the Big East Conference. If Providence can get one of their big games, Connecticut here in 3 weeks against Georgetown up in Providence, the Friars will have a very good chance of being a part of the NCAA tournament.
Well, solid on the road. I mean, they've played very well. 3 road wins. UConn has been devastating on the road with 6 of them. But Pete feels they're getting better. And when you watch games or tapes, you can see the confidence level, particularly with God Shamgod, who's running the show and getting others involved.
He is their point guard, number 12. Gillen's team lost by 2 at Villanova, by 4 at Syracuse. So they played some of the elite teams very well. Take that mental picture, Bill, of Pete Gillen, because he won't look like that in an hour and a half.
He becomes disheveled quickly.
Here you get a look at Jim Calhoun. He's won 211 games in the decade at UConn, 461 games in his career, which before this was Northeastern. Jimmy Bird to toss it up at center, working with Steve Welmer and Frank Scagliotta, the officials assigned by the Big East. Connecticut going for number 21 in a row. Tap to the Friars. The next jump ball goes to the Huskies.
And the Huskies met him in, Mike Tirico.
Harry Shamgod, the point guard. Michael Brown, the senior, who works in the backcourt with him. Derek Brown, unrelated. Good player for Providence.
A lot of motion, and they'll kick back for deep shots.
There's Derek Brown, misfiring. Providence hard to the glass. Austin Crozier, Ruben Garces. 3 shots, no points. Here comes Allen.
Nice play. Face the ball. Crozier.
Shamgod has help. Takes it all the way.
That's a big-time maneuver, and right away, UConn with the length of the floor pass, able to counter. Rudy
Johnson stop. That's what the Huskies do best. They make you pay after you make the hoops.
Well, you can't congratulate one another. You better turn and get back. Identified.
Garces pops free. The junior college transfer misfired, and here comes Sheffer for the Huskies.
Garces, tough post-up guy, and you can see his ability to rebound, too, earlier.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock, 20. Travis Knight hands off to Sheffer.
Mike, very unselfish team. It stems from this guy and Ray Allen's attitude as well.
Rudy Johnson and Kirk King are the forwards. Shot clock now down to 7 as Allen works on Mike Brown.
He should be able to elevate for the jumper with his size.
Sheffer inside, the rebound. King's got the shot.
And Sheffer continues to amaze. Almost 5 rebounds a game, a category you don't expect that much from a guard, much less a point guard.
Tied at 2. The fans settle in. They stand till the Huskies make a field goal. Here's Crozier operating inside. Gets the rebound. And travel.
Pretty tough stretch. Austin Crozier, very aggressive inside, unable to finish, and that's probably a compliment to Travis Knight, who's always in position. The ability to elevate ends up with a pretty good shot for maybe the player of the year. What do you think, Mike? And inside Sheffer.
I agree. I haven't seen anybody better than Ray. He's so tough to stop. Kirk King out. Quick substitution. Eric Hayward, 45, is back to you, setting that screen to pop free Allen.
And that's his game. Use the post rubs.
This one's on the Huskies. I think they got Travis Knight.
They may have gone for Hayward, yeah. Well, Eric teeing it up down below as Jimmy Calhoun looks on in disbelief. Jimmy wants to see the wounds on each foul. You know, touch them, feel them.
There will be some applied here tonight. Fans wanted the over and back. Last touch Connecticut off that trap near half court.
Pretty good officiating crew.
Steve Welmer stepping in for Ted Valentine. And our thoughts with Ted Valentine, who was scheduled to work this game. His dad passed away a few days ago, and our thoughts to one of the nice guys who works in stripes, Ted Valentine.
Yeah, I agree with you, too. Ted Hillary's mom passed away, too, another Big East official. And likewise there, our best to them.
See the shot clock. Crozier moves on Knight. Offensive foul, Austin Crozier.
Love his attitude, though. And he has become a terrific basketball player. You were saying to me before the game, a lot of his game, he goes outside. And, in fact, Providence can use him down low. But this is his ability to put it on the floor. I saw him in the pit game put it left, go all the way with a lefty hook. He's rounding into a terrific forward.
Travis Knight, he's setting for the Huskies.
Well, they are not. They're giving Travis that shot. Not that he takes threes, but inside it, he's pretty tough.
He's never made a three in his UConn history. Crozier picks up a second foul.
Well, I like the aggressive defense. Unfortunately, when you've got one at the other end, it doesn't give you the leeway to be that aggressive. Nice little hold up for Travis Knight. That changes Pete Gillen's game.
And he has to go to the bench to bring in Jamel Thomas, who's a 6'6" freshman out of Lincoln High School in Brooklyn, and he has really come on the last couple of weeks. And quickly, Pete Gillen, who is very liberal about his use of timeouts, takes a 20-second timeout, and maybe with Crozier with 2, just to kind of set everyone's mind to what you're going to do now.
Maybe change the look, and I agree with Jamal Thomas. He's looked good in games that I've witnessed. 3, runs the floor.
A reminder, 6 nights from tonight, Monday night, get your tuxedo ready. The 4th annual ESPY Awards, live from Radio City Music Hall. 34 categories covering the best sports performances over the last year. Awards for male and female athletes of the year, as well as the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. The 4th annual ESPYs, presented by GM, Monday night, 8 Eastern, on ESPN. We look forward to going to Radio City for that. UConn ball, Sheffer left free.
He just keeps pecking away. If it's a pass all night, it's the pass. Whatever is needed or dictated, he generally comes up with the answer.
You want to talk about someone whose head's on a swivel and defines taking it within the flow? Watch the road. Pass by Allen to Rudy Johnson.
Send it in, Rudy. Well, All-American. He does it all. Great feel. Plays both ends of the game, Ray Allen.
See how Providence handles this UConn defense. Able to get it over half court, settle down on this trip. They trail by 4. PC scored the first 2 of the Huskies, the last 3 baskets.
And Jimmy Calhoun said he's got to stay out on the threes. They've improved to 2nd in the league from down near the bottom. Providence. Nice look.
Derek Brown off the feed from Sham God.
That's what he does beautifully. Finds his partners. Good penetrator, and then the kick.
Hayward working hard inside. There's Knight. Still has not made a 3 in his UConn history. Rebound, Michael Brown.
Nice compliment in the backcourt with two-point mentalities.
There's Jamel Thomas off the bench. Allen couldn't snatch it. The Friars will get it when we come back. Official timeout. Ray Allen, a pretty good steal and a pretty good pass as well to tee up Rudy Johnson. The Huskies early by 2 on the Deuce.
Well, Mike Tirico, the great ones know how to contribute in all facets. And here's the double. The thing that UConn throws at you are a variety of looks. Here's a half-court pinch, and what a delivery. I mean, whatever it takes. And the rest is elementary. It's not Watson. It's Johnson. Great finish, but Allen, the key to that play.
Averages nearly 24 a game as Johnson takes a seat for a moment. Ray Allen also 6 rebounds a game, 4 assists, a couple of steals. He's always involved in everything Connecticut does.
D. Rowe, who you know very well, former coach here at UConn, he was telling me before the game, the difficulty with UConn in preparing is they do so many things, it's time consuming. For any club, BC included, you don't get a chance to work as much on your own game.
You saw Johnson on the bench. Ricky Moore, number 21, who's guarding God Shamgod now in the UConn lineup, the freshman guard from Augusta, Georgia.
In this look, of course, Allen slides up front. He's got Derek Brown. That's what makes him difficult. To bring it in or step out deep.
Clock down at 10. No open shots. Thomas tries 3.
Well, we mentioned his growth. Drive, draw, and kick. And Shamgod's become, nice little front by Thomas, much better at that aspect of the game, finding people.
Thomas, a cousin of Stephon Marbury, and many people, Bill, feel that Thomas was overlooked on that Lincoln High School team playing in Brooklyn, and he's really blossomed. They feel he's a diamond in the rough for this Providence team.
Well, you can see, watching Stephon, how you could be overlooked.
Oh, absolutely.
Spectacular.
Providence been very quick reacting to the ball.
Look at him peek and find people, Shepard. Forget it. Get it that deep with that body. Wrap it up tight.
Eric Hayward, the senior from Louisiana. Backed in Ruben Garces. The Huskies lead by 1.
Little 2-2-1 look. Thomas in the right spot. You got to go cross court or hit the middle, depending on who plays the middleman.
Michael Brown. God Shamgod using the Thomas screen.
Oh, my God, huh?
And Derek Brown.
Well, he is a creator, therefore the name.
God. Hayward working hard, and Garces picked up the foul. Last possession this way, Hayward backed Garces all the way under the basket, and that time Garces had to take the foul.
Now, you always give me strange looks, but you gave me a real strange one when I said Shamgod reminds me a little bit of Iverson, and I don't mean he's in that league totally, but the excitement and maybe forcing things early in his first year.
And he's settled down, is playing better the last couple of games, and this guy's been playing well all year.
Really solid.
Huskies a 1-point lead here in the first 5:15, 6:15, check that.
And you have a jump shooter shooting 50%. That's extraordinary. That's what Allen does.
Good spin out of the trap by Shamgod. And a reset the shot clock. It was deflected by Allen's left sneaker.
And there's another guy that I think's helped this Providence team, Derek Brown. Rebounds, runs, catches things on the break. You saw him trying to feed the post there. Can handle a little bit.
Rochelle Jones checking into the Connecticut lineup. Here's Garces underneath, blocked by King. But before that, a foul as Ricky Moore was trying to sneak in there with some quick hands.
Well, Garces has a body we both like, huh? We crave.
6'9", 235.
Ooh, he's got ripples where we only dream. Pipes, I guess they call them now.
That's right.
Pipe cleaners, mine used to be. Call?
Out of Navarro Junior College down in Texas, a junior college program that's had some success. 4th in the Big East in rebounding at 8.8 per game. But he struggles there. Garces just a 40% free throw shooter.
And you look at Pete Gillen's team, and over the years at Xavier, they were a helter-skelter, go-get-you. And his adjustment to whatever talent he has, I think, is what's made this team get better. I mean, they don't give it the full and try and gamble. The big thing is getting back, and they do in this situation. Force the deep pass.
Nice save by Jones. Knight re-tees Jones. Good defense by the fellow freshman Thomas for Providence. You watch 33 in black and you walk away and say he's a player. Garces got Knight in the air and got the foul.
Rubin has muscles for other things. Not the soft touch around the glass, but great pump fake. And one reason UConn presses is in the back. It's either King or Knight. Here on this end, force the baseline, get some help. Years ago, you would never permit that, but Thomas very aggressive. But Garces got to get a little softer delivery around the tip.
He had one of his best games the first game against the Huskies. He had 16, but as we mentioned, struggling at the line, not only a 40% free throw shooter, but in Big East play, 39% free throw shooter. Daron Sheffer in for Ray Allen.
It's really tough when you have an empty trip. You're a big guy, you get it right to the goal, unable to convert, then he gets to the foul line. You get a little rash as a coach, much less the player when he's hit.
Garces 1 for 4 on the line. See how the Huskies do without Allen. All tied at 10. 7 minutes gone by from Storms. Connecticut looking for number 21 in a row.
And Mike, the one thing I think Jim Calhoun has done, the development of the bench. I mean, they can rest people, their confidence level soaring.
One of those reasons, Ricky Moore, fellow freshman Ross Jones, Sheffer.
Could have taken that, but unselfish, huh?
Moore is averaging about 5 a game.
More guards should do more of that. Find the hole, give it up.
Well, great examples for these freshman guards to learn from, Allen and Sheffer.
Well, Sheffer plays old. I mean, one of those guys, great feel for the game, all that international play and toughness.
He'll turn 24 in March.
He's almost our age.
It's almost my age.
I thought I'd slide in on that myself.
Michael Brown for 3. This is where Providence has been doing damage lately, as Bill mentioned, second in the Big East in three-point shooting.
And he's 44%. Shamgod gets tied up with more on the defensive end, but that's the one concern Calhoun had, how they defend the 3.
Shamgod picks up the foul, his first. Jim Calhoun's team in a rare position, trailing by 1. 8:03 gone by. Pete Gillen's Friars, very competitive. They lead by 1 over the 4th-ranked team in the nation.
Well, what did Robert Goulet say? Bad as in good, like the kids say. Penetrate, don't leave your feet. And he does it frequently, and with Michael Brown on the wing, a guy who usually does that 1-2 dribble jumper, able to convert deep, and he continues to be a rage at 44%.
UConn ball, you see 22 in the lane. Andrew Klaber saw some significant time, played 7 minutes in the UConn win at St. John's, 77-63 on Saturday. Klaber in the lineup.
One of the keys is don't let the ball reverse. Nice show by Garces. Nice job here. The gamble wasn't necessary. Good recovery, though.
Sheffer regains and hits. Frustrating part of this team. You do a good job defensively, and Sheffer still gets his 2. Huskies retake the lead by 1.
Break the press in pieces, not in a hurry.
Brown pulls up. 2 black shirts on the board, but Garces is stripped.
Got to protect it, the big strong guy.
Here come the Huskies. Sheffer looking for somebody open, but Garces, the quick hands, forces the turnover. Providence doing a nice job getting back tonight.
They sure are. The guards are doing a wonderful job balancing the floor. And that time you saw Michael Brown give it right to Shamgod and get down the floor. High pick and roll. He usually drives the gap.
Shamgod for 3.
You better get up on him, Micah. I'll take that, Travis.
Knight may be a little more hesitant with the shot. He injured his left thumb against Syracuse. Small fracture of that left thumb. There's 2 screws in there. They're going to take out some of the stitches, though, tomorrow.
Oh, we were at that game, you recall, right? Was that at home? Was that the home game?
Yeah, I wasn't me.
I think yes, it was.
I think it was Ron Hartford. Another Syracuse guy. We all blend in.
You know one, you know them all. All they talk about is Jimmy Brown and Archibald Stadium.
And Manley Fieldhouse. Thomas pulls up in the lane. Look at the nice rebound by Derek Brown, but Allen's quick hands.
Cultivating the team, and that's what Pete Gillen has done. They got a little fight in them. I mean, they rebound. He wants to time out here. You mentioned they don't bring them home to the bank, but they get after it on the glass. A terrific rebounding team. Now they're a three-point team, and they're balancing the floor. That's why they're hanging tough.
Down just 3 halfway through the half. Gillen uses the first of his 3 timeouts. Seven different Huskies have scored the 16 points. UConn leading Providence by 3.
Being cool under pressure, something play-by-play people have to be. Reactions to adversity. And right here, thinking you made a good pan, but look at the calmness, man, the ability to gather himself. And right here, the head is always up, sneaking a peek. It's either a dump down or a knockdown. Number 11. They will miss him when he's got not a good look here by Shamgar.
Rudy Johnson with quick hands, quicker Shamgar. Crozier denied by Hayward. And Sheffer comes out with it. Huskies by 3 in the ball. Knight down low. Allen the follow.
And Crozier there. And I'm saying Crozier, you're saying Crozier because let's just finish it.
Allen in the foul. Great hustle by Rudy Johnson.
And that may be number 3
on Austin.
That's easy. He told Mike Tranchisi he likes Crozier. That's why I started. I'd have a chance to chat with you about it. And that's from the commissioner, no less. But he had an easy look at the one end, and right here you can't relax. I mean, he had an opportunity for a layup. Austin had it blocked this end. The pass in, the tenacious defense. They can score at any spot on the floor.
Allen completes the three-point play. Crozier still on the floor with 3 fouls. Gillen has someone to sub for him. Just got to get him out of it.
If there's a counter, Connecticut should go right at him.
Shamgar drives, can't get it to go. Zabilski inside. Zabilski can't finish. Here comes down with no help. He waits for the secondary break.
Look at them flatten out.
Sheffer.
That's one thing. They're so well organized on a break, spreading the floor. They make you cover all aspects on the offensive end.
This was a 10-10 game about 2 minutes ago, and that's one of those UConn explosions. Rozier misfires on the 3. Thomas the rebound. Sheffer again, a lot of guard rebounds for the Huskies.
Look at the spread. They got the reverse guy. Thomas gets up. You don't want him to turn the corner.
Sheffer worked in there, and the foul on Zabilski inside. Or Shamgar.
Either one, yeah. Shamgar, I think he just grabbed hold. The reverse man wasn't there. A lot of guys might panic, turn the ball over. Sheffer able to use the dribble to get it into the 3-second area.
We told you Pete Gillen doesn't take him back to Rhode Island with him. Takes his second timeout in 80 seconds because of the 12-0 Husky run. UConn by 11. Providence is down to 1 timeout, and they're down 11.
Mike, as a coach, you teach your guys to get back in defensive transition, get to the hole, and then identify. What makes it difficult with UConn, you see the spread by Sheffer. You get back to the 3-second lane. You almost have to say, go to people, let the center protect the middle. Don't just jam it up. I mean, they really spread the floor.
Out of the inbounds, Allen off on the 3. Johnson finds Hayward.
What a play by Rudy. Amazing. One of the reasons he, Knight, and Hayward have been sharing in 93 victories. There aren't the big names in that group, but they have contributed. Without fouling, this is on an out of bounds. They get great looks on their out of bounds, and beautiful officiating too. Not calling that, but what a look. The presence of mind to deliver by Rudy Johnson to Eric Hayward.
Pete Gillen has to come back in with Ruben Garces because of the foul trouble with Austin Crozier inside. That's part of the reason that Hayward was able to get that rebound. 75% free throw shooter, as you mentioned, Bill, one of the seniors who's been involved in this great run for the Huskies.
They're not asking their centers to do a lot of dramatic things. Just be solid. and he steps in for Knight or plays with him, or King steps in this hole. Nice rotation for Jim Calhoun.
Knight and Hayward, 7 of the UConn 27 thus far. Derek Brown travels.
And Mike, you notice there are 4 white shirts. You got to go over the top. I'm sure Pete Gillen explaining to his guys, look, don't put your head down. Look over the top. You can break him down and attack the goal.
You see the difference without Shamgod on the floor. See, Providence has turned it over 4 more times. That's Jason Murdoch now checking Ricky Moore. Oh, Moore took the advantage.
And that's Sheffer, I think. Give it up. Don't just force it if you don't have it.
Shot clock at 10 as Allen does his work.
And Michael Brown, pretty good defender. That's nice defensive maneuver. And Allen extended the arm. Jimmy Burr are right on it.
First foul on Allen, 4th on the team.
Just talking about defensive positioning, and Brown out that far is king. A little closer, maybe move up to the forward spot, and he can do some damage on Brown.
Providence very quickly in a 14-point hole. This game was tied at 10. It was 13-10 with 10 minutes left, but boom, one of those Husky runs. Friars looking for an answer. Garces has a little hook in there. Derek Brown the rebound, fouled. He was trying to get the rebound, and they say in the act of shooting.
He's like a nudge in there. Derek always comes up, slices in, gets himself in position. Now, Garces appears to me to shoot the jump hook better than the rolling hook. They ran a little screen down. He posted up. He ran the baseline. This is where he ended up with the ball. But here's an old-time Bob Hubriggs rolling hook. Now, you don't even remember Hubie, do you?
No.
Washington in the 50s. You don't have clothes that old. You don't have a car that old.
Here's Derek Brown at the line, the 6'6" junior. He'll get one more.
Things are getting so bad, I don't relate to your parents.
Rudy Johnson has a seat on the bench as you saw Rochmel Jones come in. Brown went to LA City College. Grady High School in Brooklyn before that. Lane violation on the free throw, so just 1 for Providence.
Mo Brown's old high school too, Grady. And I think Roe Blackman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Former Nick, Dallas Mavs.
Of course, Mo Brown, the point guard for St. John's. Connecticut beat St. John's by 14 at the Garden on Saturday. Here's Moore going all the way in. Zabilski got a piece.
Real nice position. They look at Hayward, lock him in there, but pass to the wrong hand.
Peter Zabilski working real hard to force that turnover. Friars down 13.
Be solid, and this is the advantage of having Brown with that experience. He's played a lot of point guard. Moves over with Shamgod resting.
To Derek Brown. Rebound, Kirk King.
Major league checkout.
Sheffer, that head always up, looking for the guy ready to shoot.
The thought occurred to me. Look at this post setup. Say goodnight.
Eric Hayward has been hitting Garces down there all night. Did it again there.
You know, Mike, the problem for most guards, a lot of guards dribble with their head up, but don't see. Sheffer has that extra feel, the ingredient, and what a dip in. Sheffer and Hayward, pretty good combo.
Shamgod comes back in for Jason Murdoch. Didn't get much out of Murdoch in his couple of minutes. The foul was on Garces, his second. So the starting center, Garces, has 2. The forward, Crozier, has 3. And Shamgod, the starting point guard, has 2 fouls.
And God, a McDonald's All-American, and that was a great get-out-of-the-gate recruit. And what a struggle without this guy. A real fine prospect, by the way, Austin. Solid, unfortunate with the 3 fouls. They're going to try and just coax their way to halftime without him.
He's their leading scorer, too. Their first option on offense, averages 16 a game. Probably will go to halftime without a point. Hayward has 7. That's nearly double his average, and he gets a warm reception as he comes to the sideline.
You know, Sheffrey's attitude makes centers better, including Hayward. They're going to get it where they can do some damage, not before. It limits their mistakes.
Go.
Husky lead is 15.
Just a little subtle thing. They switched on that screen. Almost come up with a steal by Jones.
Providence has gone a long time without putting one in the ocean. Michael Brown trying to change that. Trying to get Sheffer down low. Fortunate to get the carry.
And you can just see the position of the big guys. Garces and Zabilski helping that thing to free itself.
Michael Brown is 5 of the Friars' 16. He's already surpassed his output in the first game between these two teams, which was competitive. An 83-74 Connecticut win in Providence 24 days ago.
And same play they run for Allen. Little double stack.
After the Sheffer miss, here comes Shamgod.
Good post pass. Got to catch it, Ruben.
Derek Brown tracks it down. Shamgod watched by Ricky Moore. Upper freshman.
Let's say the Big East lets you play that. Let's say the officials banging on the dribble. Not too many nickel dimers.
Not tonight. Providence came out banging early. Had to rebound again. Zabilski screens for Shamgod, who got around Knight. Hit the deck hard. King with the block.
Gotta shoot it. 4. Nice pass.
Zabilski inside finishes.
And that's something they've gotten better at, I think, too. Inside passing. Great look. And then the finish.
Sheffer quick.
Did you see where Zabilski had to play it? And that's the push. You get people out of position, the mismatch.
Jerome to double digits. He has 10 of the Husky 32. Even though Shamgod is in the game, it's Michael Brown handling the ball the last couple of trips. Nice first step. Garces the rebound.
Strong recovery, huh? Getting there.
He went over the back, but on his own guy. You're allowed to do that.
He was all business.
Travis will take that one. Great stretch of 23 straight made field goals, including 10 for 10 in the first game against this Providence team.
We were there for the first miss, weren't we, if I'm not mistaken? Yes. The St. John's game at the Hartford Civic Center.
That was me.
I am aging. Before your eyes.
Michael Brown off a nice screen, hits 3.
Nice little stagger to free him.
Providence hanging around. They have it within single digits, now 9. Allen's been quiet, but this is when he's effective. Nice speed. Steve blocked Knight.
Pretty good reaction, and then a little weak side scrape didn't hurt either as Garces and Shamgod was there. Good presence defensively. Right here, good, strong move, and I think Travis should do more of that. Maybe get it to the left hand. The block wouldn't have occurred. Good team defense by the Friars.
Let's watch here. Bill mentioned what a good job they do on bounce plays, and they pick up the foul as Allen was cutting to the goal.
That's amazing. They drill, get their guys in position to understand the cuts, the bumps. I mean, that's part of their whole philosophy. Attack all the time. And yet their half-court offense has gotten so much better. So if you get back, identify, they still have another answer.
Well, Pete's got to come up with one more answer because that was the 3rd foul on Garces. Allen hits the front end of the 1-and-1. So the 2 interior starters, 6'9" Austin Crozier and 6'9" Ruben Garces, both 3 personal fouls.
And next to Garces was Tommy Hurry. And how about the jacket on Bobby Gonzalez, one of the assistants? Light him up. Put a quarter in. Play his song.
Allen has 9. Allen and Sheffer have 19 of UConn's 34. 11-point lead. Brown nearly ran out of time. Shamgod watched by Roshmel Jones.
Dribble the wingman out and then he screened down.
There's Janelle Thomas, the freshman.
Trying to take advantage. He's got a few inches on Ray Allen. Good show by Hayward.
Michael Brown pulls the trigger. Thomas active. Zabilski the rebound. Now Derek Brown in a tough spot. Blocked by Hayward. Hayward came to play tonight.
And nothing for free in there.
Jones bumping Shamgod on the way.
Thank you.
It'll be a first on Roshmel Jones, the freshman out of Port Chester, New York.
Yeah, the clubs know one another so well at this time of the year. Here's the end of the play. Great reaction by UConn with the block, but also on the initial thrust of the offense. I mean, scouting, they're looking at tapes all day. Guys that have to slide behind picks and get themselves back on their man.
Here is God Shamgod, the reigning Big East freshman of the week, 1-1.
Just off a little angle there on that free throw, isn't he?
A little bit to the left.
I don't know if you remember Will Chamberlain, I mean, other than your history books, but Will tried it all. He went to the neck of the foul line, all the way far left. Didn't work there either.
Half a trip for Shamgod. The lead is 10. The Huskies push. Thomas with a face in front of Allen. Zabilski got knocked to his derriere, and it will stay with the Huskies. Michael
Brown with a great slide down to protect. That was a deuce. You got to keep playing defensively. Don't turn your head, let the guy go.
Oh, good hustle by Jamel Thomas to force the steal. 3-on-1, Derek Brown.
And this is a great call, too. Count it. Give it up. Guy never established. They are scrappy. All because Mike Brown saved it at the other end. It was a deuce. Would have made it 36-24. Instead, the turnover. And right here, Shamgod with great presence to give it up. Now you've got a chance to do some damage. Good look. And DB. Providence's rendition of DB. Derek Brown, St. John's.
Missed the free throw. You know, Bill, the early timeouts by Pete Gillen. It's a rare UConn turnover, and Jim Calhoun is boiling a little bit under the collar on the sidelines.
Rudy Johnson, well, this is good, though. You chastise guys who aren't playing. I mean, they're saying, Coach, I didn't even see it. But you say you want the guy on the floor. Howie Dickerman alongside Carl Hobbs. They've done a wonderful job with these. Nice one. God, was that good?
Pete Zabilski has 4. The lead is 6. Rudy Johnson teed up and free. Look at Providence scrap out of bounds off the Friars. The timeouts with 10 minutes left, and then 80 seconds later at 8:41 meant no more official timeouts for the rest of the half. So we've been going without a break since 8:41, and maybe that's helped Providence a little bit.
Are you tired? Are you complaining? Or we'll see if we get one for you. No, they got into a flow, and you're right about Pete. I mean, he's like an old timer. He doesn't mind when he calls the timeouts. He didn't want to lose the game in the first half.
Jerome misfires on the 3, but able to track down the tap.
And all alone underneath his kick. If I can see him, I know Sheffer can see him. Nobody got back in position. A giveaway, and the Friars have been solid on the defensive end the last 3 or 4 trips. And right here, he's got his vision already on Kirk King. The little look away just to freeze Zabilski. The giveaway.
Zabilski's first personal, and he's one of the very few guys over 6'8", not in foul trouble for the Friars. Kirk King, a 69% shooter. 5 points, 4 rebounds for Kirk King, the junior out of Baton Rouge.
This team can get at you quickly, so you got to be solid if you're Providence the next 2 minutes. At halftime, 10 or under, you got a chance to get your mainstay back in. Austin Crozier, we got to straighten that out, huh? Mike Gorman told Crozier. The coaches told you Crozier.
That's right.
Coaches are usually wrong. Take it from me.
Brown finds Derek Brown.
Too easy. And Jimmy Calhoun's lament to me before the game was we got to get up on their deep shooters.
The 3 has brought Providence back into the mix for the NCAA tournament and brought them back into this game. Trailed by just 6. Away from the ball, Thomas had a hold on Kirk King. Reminder coming up at halftime, back to the studios, the Sports Smash with 3 other Big East teams in action. Check what's going on in the pros and news out of the National Football League. Coaching, free agency time approaching. Reese will get us updated. The Sports Smash coming up in a minute 37. It gets so quiet in here. It does. When they shoot free throws.
And like you're talking about halftime, I'm thinking, remember both of us did a show, the audition of ESPN2? That's going way back.
Now, even I forgot about that.
How about that?
Now, I'm losing my memory.
Yeah.
That's how long ago that was.
That was like a year before they started, I guess. They were promoting it, and it's really been for basketball nuts particularly, huh?
Terrific. Another game coming up. Terrific one. Maryland, North Carolina. Shamgod can't get it to go. Derek Brown has it snatched away by Travis Knight. Huskies up 7 and pushing a little bit here in our final 80 seconds. Look at Sheffer get to the goal.
It's amazing. We talked about the 2 point guards on Providence. How about Moore and Sheffer together now? Moore push it, collapse the defense, gives it to Sheffer, gets a great angle, and then the left-hand depth at the end.
Providence trails by 9. See if they go for 2 for 1 here in the final minute. Michael Brown, tough shot overnight. Look at Travis fighting with that unbandaged right hand. Nearly kept it alive. Shamgod prevented Allen from getting there, and it will go to the Friars.
Real good basketball play, but that's what Travis Knight does. He's not a guy that's going to be flashy, lead you in scoring every night, make solid decisions, a presence on the defensive end, great energy on that last trip, typical of him.
Even with that bandaged thumb, he's had 10 and 11 rebounds in his last 2 games. If you believe in the mental aspect of being within single digits at the half, big trip for the Friars, down 9. The freshman Thomas, tough shot. Another rebound for Knight. That's 3 trips in a row. He got the rebound. What a look for Ricky Moore. Goaltending.
Pretty basketball. Incredible. They can counter better than Sugar Ray Robinson. Oh, they take the hit. And there's the jukebox jacket of Bobby Gonzalez behind Pete Gillen. He was begging for that, but this is all because the energy to push both lanes are filled, so Sheffer has an option. A little glance one way, great catch, and then the finish. Pretty basketball.
Down 11. We'll see where Gillen and the Friars go on this last trip.
That's that little pick, and they let Shamgod turn the corner. Now he's all on the 1-4, and here it comes again.
Gotta move quick. Gotta get a shot off. And the foul called on Ricky Moore as he had Shamgod in the air.
You know, he got punished for playing physically. Great defense, and he gets a chance to shoot it. Shamgod up in the air, and I just think he was just overzealous on the follow-through here now. Now just watch the follow-through. I mean, maybe the legs down below and the exuberance. Pretty good defensive play.
He injured his right elbow. As you see, the UConn bench is empty. The Huskies are off to the locker room. No time left on the clock. It was in the act of shooting, so he gets one more. The Friars have been dreadful at the line. 3 of 9 in the first half. Four of 10 in the first half. So Pete Gillen's team in major foul trouble, hangs around, stays within 10 of the Huskies at the half on the deuce.
ESPN2's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Canon, who remind you there's so much more you can do with a new bubble jet printer from Canon. And by Wendy's. What makes Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger so spicy? It's got to be the cheese. ESPN2's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
Welcome back to Gamble Pavilion. Connecticut looking for 21 in a row, leading by 10. Mike Tirico, Bill Raftery, story of the first half. Providence getting in foul trouble, still able to hang around despite the great Connecticut guard play.
They seem to have a lot of confidence right now, Providence, and yet Daron Sheffer is a kind of a guy that leads by example, loves to get others involved, has great recognition ability. And this is one where Moore was the point guard. He's on the wing, explodes to the goal. Good choice of hand. And then the same kind of a situation that runs down a long rebound. And now looking right into the post. Now he's got vision on Kirk King. And Providence does not get down on the slide to take away the passing lane. And the rest. Strong. Send it in by King.
Connecticut shooting on the season 48% from the field. Above that, Providence really hurt themselves, missing 6 free throws. Won the battle of the backboards, though. And Providence has been out-rebounding their opponents by 9.5.
And Louis Orr, one of the assistants, I'm sure will take credit for the rebounding ability of Providence. Nice hands here by Brown. Oh, they forgot the ball. Oh.
Michael and Derek Brown combined on the double team, nearly came up with the turnover. It'll stay with Connecticut. 21 on the shot clock for the Huskies.
Well, the Browns should communicate a little bit better.
Know where they're going.
Well, I think one took off Michael and expecting Derek to stay on his feet. Double tick.
See, Frank Scagliotta says it was off of Michael Brown last, so it will stay with the Huskies, but a tougher position to inbound from.
Not the real full court pressure or double up.
Daron Sheffer and Ray Allen.
He's almost like the leader of state out there, isn't he? And recognizes, hands out. Look at this pretty three-man play. Pop out, dump down.
Kirk King, who lit up Providence for 20 in their first meeting this year, has 8. The Husky lead is back to 12.
I call the defense asleep on that one, though, huh, Mike?
Providence, which really did a decent job. I guess you'd grade him a B- handling the UConn pressure in that first half.
I think not finishing shots was their problem. You mentioned the free throws.
God, Sham God, Ruben Garces across the lane. That hook.
The roller. Oh, anything inside this half could help them. I thought they struggled down low with Austin Crozier. Struggling. I'm going to capitulate here, but I think I'm right.
Crozier, 3 fouls, no points, their leading scorer. He's trying to deny that pass to Travis Knight. Did so successfully. Kirk King, air ball, and the Friars will get a chance to cut it to single digits.
And Jim Calhoun begging for a tick, a double tick, or a slap there on that one.
Calhoun, Howie Dickerman behind him, Carl Hobbs, former UConn Husky guard. Tommy Moore, the assistants for the Huskies, who are 21-1, 11-0 in the Big East. Best start in the history of UConn basketball. And got all the way to the rack.
To the promised land. God. Great use of that bounce, and he has grown as Jimmy Calhoun goes for the 20 and makes a change. Eric Hayward going in. He's not real happy. Providence does not pack the tack, and they have gotten better. And I think the recognizing of situations by their point guard has improved, and therefore a tougher team, a tougher route. Broke the D with the bounce, and you can just see the overrun outside by Rudy Johnson, and Sheffer trying to, and good motion by the offense to take Sheffer away.
And Travis Knight went with Garces, who scored that last hoop, and Travis now finds himself on the bench, replaced by Eric Hayward. Hayward was very effective being physical in the first half, drawing fouls and scoring baskets. Hayward had 7 in the first half, well above his average of 3.5.
Back screen, and then he pops out. Nice play.
Rudy Johnson can't get it to go. Providence. Garces couldn't save the rebound. It will stay with the Huskies.
That's great basketball. Oh, extraordinary look. Well designed and executed play. Garces got to squeeze that. That's 2 he's had.
They find Hayward inside, and the foul on Derek Brown from behind, trying to give some help to Crozier, who has 3 personal fouls. What an impressive physical performance by Eric Hayward. tonight. Hayward, who does all the little things in his career as a senior here, he leads the team in charges taken, a stat that the assistant coaches like to track.
Yeah, he's not going to light up the box score totally with points and assists, but solid rebounding, kind of a guy that just gets a couple of shots a game and contributes for Jimmy Calhoun. That shot at Jimmy, D-Row was telling me he can't believe over the decades as Jimmy Calhoun has coached, his improvement, his understanding of what works, what doesn't work. He'll discard things. Some of the things he used at Northeastern years ago no longer does. Recognizing the talent he has around him and maybe the level of play, too.
That level allows you as a coach to probably put in a little bit more, right?
Well, if you last long enough. You just played against a lot of tough people. Great talent.
9-point Husky lead. Rudy Johnson out here on Shamgar.
Well, I think kids put it in on their own, by the way, at this level, too, you know? And they're trying to get him on track. And they need his scoring. You mentioned the first half, nothing, and averaging around 16 a game. That hurts.
Rozier's first three, now a 6-point Husky lead. Providence doing to Connecticut what Connecticut usually does. Quietly lulls it back into the game. Hayward outside. Misfires, and on the Derek Brown rebound, the foul, he had Crozier running free, and that's actually a pretty good foul.
I was just going to say the exact same thought, a giveaway for that reason. And Derek Brown right away pointed to Austin at the other end. I knew you were there. They just fouled me. He said before the game this would be a tough one. Providence now a meat grinder kind of a team. They're not going to be easy to handle down the stretch.
Chance to get it to 4, perhaps 3.
A double, and then he came baseline. Pretty play.
Rozier's hit the second one. Hayward tried to save it. It'll stay with the Friars, but a good fundamental play. Didn't save it under his own basket.
And threw it to the sideline away from the traffic. But a nice little double setup, and Austin ran baseline.
Shamgar got around Johnson, got around Hayward. Oh!
And he should have kicked it to the corner. See, that's the judgment. Good jump ball.
Alternate possession arrow stays with Providence, and Travis Knight's right back off the Connecticut bench after Hayward didn't snatch that one away from Shamgar.
And Shamgar underneath the rim had a perfect kick out for Crozier. And that's when you grow as a guard. Do it consistently. Fine. Now right here he's stuck, but in the right corner, now Shepard would have kicked it right out there. That's what he's got to learn to do. And also be able to take it on the gym.
Still a chance to cut to 4 or 3. Travis Knight in, watching Crozier. Good job by UConn. They were trying to pop Crozier free. Michael Brown down the lane, the floater. UConn a very big lineup in there now with Sheffer, Allen, Rudy Johnson, Hayward, and Knight. Smallest player on the floor is 6'5".
And Michael Brown's done a great job outside on Allen. He can't get a look.
Crozier the deflection and the good jump to make the steal. Interesting to see Shamgar and Johnson.
See, now he wanted, Crozier wanted to revert, cross from a layup here. That's not good basketball. So you know how talented Shamgar is, but he made 2 major mistakes. One didn't kick it in the corner to Crozier, and that time he had the reverse man where the post man takes the jumper. Get the other guys involved. But he's a freshman. I mean, you're demanding things of a guy who's run it his way for quite a while. Should use the dribble against Hayward here.
Crozier got Hayward in the air. Sheffer was right out on Derek Brown. Here's Shamgar taking Rudy Johnson down the lane. Rudy's done nice defense the last couple of trips. This jump ball goes to the Huskies. Official timeout. 15-19 left.
I'm sorry, this is where Pete's got to talk to Shamgar, I think. Get him back.
UConn leads Providence by 8. Back on the deuce after this. It's been a month since UConn's played a game under the roof of Gamble Pavilion on the campus. Rudy Johnson and the Huskies lead by 8.
Mike, you posed a thought now. Why would Rudy play Shamgar? And we'll continue to watch it. I think that'll change now with Moore in the lineup. But that's the confidence I think Calhoun has on him. He's very coordinated, big hands, big arms. Plus Sheffer would be at a disadvantage against Shamgat, I think.
A 6-point size advantage on Shamgat, who has 7 assists, but is 2 of 8 from the field. Sheffer got a step. Knight got the rebound. Hayward comes out of the mess.
Just staying after it. Out scrapping Providence there. And your thought on him was well taken, and just whatever it takes.
Eric Hayward has 10. His career high is 13 against St. John's. Way back in December of '92. They're quietly back to a 10-point lead. This is where UConn can crush it. They stop you a couple of times on the defensive end. They convert. Give it a go.
Oh, good play. Didn't finish. Pretty, but ineffective.
Here comes Sheffer. Ray Allen out of the game. They go inside to Hayward again, and he draws another foul inside. What a game for Eric Hayward tonight.
And Garcia's pain, but I think Eric is the pain. He's inflicting some punishment on that duck in, begging for the ball. And Ruben at the disadvantage. Number 4.
Garces was fouled out of his last couple of games. This is the middle of 3 on ESPN2 tonight. Coming up next on the Deuce, ACC Maryland, 4-4 in the conference, visiting ACC leader North Carolina. Terps lose, and they're in a 3-way tie for 4th. So an important game from the Dean Smith Center coming up after we're done here in the Big East. ACC on the Deuce. Allen back in the game.
And that's one of the few times I've seen him do that. He actually had 2 passing lanes. One resulted with a night goal, but in the left corner, he had another look, but not getting the shots because of Michael Brown's great D. He was frustrated.
UConn lead quietly up to 12. Crozier got a step on Travis Knight. Travis commits the foul.
There's some explosion, huh? Earlier on the top, I thought he could go by Hayward, and they pinch for him, but here, nice little hole on the baseline. And Austin's got to start lighting it up for his club because they need some offense. The pop out, he's got the 7-footer, little freeze, and the addition of Hayward ready to help consistently.
Crozier does the same thing tonight.
Well, this
basket
is one.
counts. Foul on Crozier.
I'm not a fan of that.
Neither am I. And
Give
4 on Crozier, Billy.
Give him a 3-point play, Mike, or wipe it out. And that hurts. As much as Garcia's is a factor on the glass, twice now. The ability, and you can't really argue with the call. Just wipe it out. Heat on one cheek feels good, on the other, not too happy.
10-point game. Crozier's still in there. We'll see if UConn tries to work it tonight down low. Allen shoots 3. Ricky Moore in among the big guys gets the board.
And they're much more active right now on the glass.
Travis traveled.
I love Jimmy Calhoun on that sideline. He turns to Howie Dickerman as though Howie walked. Why did you walk, Howie? Yeah, a lot of people speak highly of Howie. And down the road, he'll probably get himself in a pretty good job, I would think, huh?
Been here with Jim for decade. Jim's been here. Is Crozier still in the game?
And Pete showing the confidence, too. He's got to play tough. No place to go. They need a win. Give him the minutes.
Providence withstands another counter from the Huskies. 7-point game.
Good pass to the post. That is good basketball, Eric.
Travis Knight has 6, and Crozier had to let him go.
How about the great look to the left hand of Hayward, and then unselfishly found his front line mate.
Shamgar gets down the lane. Michael Brown fires 2. Michael Brown, the senior out of North Syracuse, New York, has 10.
And Shamgar finding people now after a run of ineffective plays, a little more solid.
Roshmal Jones, the freshman. Allen has Crozier. Look out.
It's amazing. Michael Brown lost him, and it changes your whole outlook. You've got this pest rid of. You got the big guy, all of a sudden your confidence soaring with the deep jumper.
Ray Allen is at double figures in the points column for the 55th straight game. He has 12.
They give him a little room to work.
Pete Zabilski. See the shot clock moving down. Michael Brown, nice look to Crozier.
And these Providence guys go great without the ball. Derek Brown being terrific, and Austin Crozier as well. Very effective finding a hole.
Friars hanging around 6 or 8. Crozier a little isolated with Knight there. He's got to be extremely careful. Nice look by Knight to Hayward.
And not a bad foul by Michael Brown before he gets a chance to elevate. They have a knack of giving it up. I feel it stems from Sheffer. Not even being on the floor. It's give it up to somebody in better position. Be unselfish.
Official timeout. 11:10 left. The Huskies going for 21 in a row. Lead by 8. Gamble Pavilion, Storrs, Connecticut. 4th-ranked Connecticut, unbeaten in the Big East. Leading Providence by 8. Mike Tirico, Bill Raftery. Good to have you with us here on The Deuce. North Carolina, Maryland to follow.
Begging down earlier, this is a wow play to me. A real solid basketball. Begging the correct pass to the guide hand, and then the cut. Nice front down below by Thomas.
Providence forces the steal. Great look by Thomas to Derek Brown. It's a 6-point game. Brown's first 2 of the second half. UConn right back. Great athletic play by Jason Murdoch, but the foul as well.
You notice Sheffer gets passes that he normally gives out, dispenses. That time running the lane cross court and getting that angle as Jason Murdoch tried to set up a little too deep.
Austin Crozier, who was in the game with 4 personal fouls for about 3 minutes, is on the bench now.
Trying to yo-yo him a little bit.
Sheffer makes the first. After a scoreless first half, Austin had 10 in the first one, about 8 minutes of the second half. So the leading scorer moved up his numbers. Sheffer, who's second on the Huskies in scoring, is right about at his average at 15. It's an 8-point UConn lead.
Zabilski should have stepped to the ball. He was so busy picking.
Allen, who does everything, comes up with a steal.
Just screen and go to the ball, Pitar.
Ray Allen just 3 in this half. He will stay with the Huskies as Derek Brown was out of bounds.
Folks, they do so many things on the out of bounds now. It's liable to be Sheffer stepping in and getting a pick. This one's liable to be a lob for Allen or a double screen for him. There's the stagger.
Ray with that quick step uses the window. The rebound by Kirk King. King has 10, 4 Huskies in double digits in the first 30 minutes.
Mike put so much pressure on you. You make him throw it back court almost. So effective on the inbound.
Derek Brown finds Jason Murdoch in the lane. Overnight.
Nice little play.
First 2 for the junior out of Bridgewater, New Jersey. The Connecticut lead is 8, halfway through the second half.
Pretty good bloodlines, though. Eric Murdoch, Millers from Villanova.
And Calhoun, who's kneeling, just turned towards the pass. Come on, a little applause. Offensive foul on Sheffer.
Usually under control. And Jimmy expressing his displeasure, but even here, a little bounce, the freeze. Once you turn the shoulder, nice position. And Connecticut does that so well. Providence stepping up in kind.
4th turnover for the Huskies in this half. Providence, just 1 turnover, but again, struggling to get it in.
4 people down there. And very tough to find some room to get free.
Jason Murdoch, cousin of former Providence star Eric Murdoch.
And off a big Syracuse game, and maybe that was a little quick. Like
Zabilski inside. Zabilski has shown more offense than we've seen from him. He has 6. What a hook by Allen on the other end. Murdoch the block, but the follow by Johnson.
great defensive reaction, but all the numbers UConn's advantage. What a punishing running team.
They do not let you take a deep breath.
No, you can't. Get down, check the socks, check the garments.
Crozier back in with 4 fouls. Rebound King for the Huskies.
Oh, nobody picked up. And Sheffer found that.
Three-point opportunity for Knight.
And I think that might, they give it to Zabelski?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Jimmy Calhoun was looking up at the crowd. This guy can count them. I thought Jacques Vaughn was one of the premier guys counting to 9. He's got it ranked right there. Found them, the wrist. Man, they're simplistic by Travis Knight. Bad thumb and all, able to jam it. But a good running to the floor. He's part of the reason you got to get back. They pressure you. Even Hayward, who's a step slow, gets down the floor.
Knight misses. Allen gets 2. 14 for the Candyman, as he's known around Husky land. And here comes UConn up 12. This is where they're very dangerous.
I take it he's sweet. Is that what you
Absolutely.
Right there?
None sweeter with those moves.
Well, I'm a different generation. I need a little help.
Crozier over King for 3.
He thought the last jumper was good. And he feels confident with that stroke. Now you can see him put it on the floor. Steps.
Moore a little out of control, but the Huskies keep it alive, and Allen hits 3.
All of that confusion. You can't leave him alone.
17 for Ray. The Husky lead is 12. You're just trading hoops, and you can't do that with this team.
Now they should go back to Crozier.
Shamgod got more in the lane. Spun around, didn't see any friendly friends, but it will stay with the Friars.
Right, the guy, right? Crozier hot. Shamgod, give it to him.
Pete Gillen's team hanging on, trailing by 12.
Mike Tirico, it's like you on payday. The hands are always ready, prepared to be a threat. And his ability to put it on the floor loosens up the D, a little jab series, knockdown jumper. But the push of the ball at the other end is more ended up in that skirmish. They've got numbers, they spread the floor, and you can't leave Ray alone. And that's sign proof of their feeling about the deity in the building.
Off the inbounds, long 3 for Jamel Thomas, who followed his miss and got fouled. 5 on the floor for Providence against Jim Calhoun's team is God Shamgod and Michael Brown. Jamel Thomas, Ruben Garces, and Austin Crozier. We point that out because Crozier and Garces have 4 personals. Eric Hayward just picked up his 3rd personal foul and he's going to the bench.
And there's the guy that started all of these problems, huh? Former Big East commissioner, and now with the NCAA, Dave Gavitt. He's the guy that my family prays to every evening. He got me out of coaching. We genuflect.
Crozier tried to locate Garces, but Allen was there to thwart any thought of that.
Because Dave's dream was this kind of high-level competition. And this building, one of the premier ones in the East. They have a good defense. I don't know if Thomas got a piece, though.
Yeah, for the miss, King got it over Garces. Kurt King has 12, Eric Hayward 10, Ray Allen 17, Daron Sheffer 15. They're good.
This is not one of the great Connecticut evenings either, because Allen is stymied. Crozier gets another look, but
Feeling it.
Rick Barnes said when he recruited him, this guy's going to be terrific. It's just a toughness about him now.
The senior co-captain, 4 of 5 shooting threes, all in the second half, keeping the Friars in it. Ricky Moore used a little size advantage over Shamgod.
And here's that stacked look. They rotate the guards baseline, Allen and Sheffer.
Thomas was right with Allen coming off the screen, but Allen shook him free anyway.
Now, every NBA guy loves that particular play. Take the hit, and still have the ability to gather and knock it down.
And Connecticut works on that in their shoot-around. Carl Hobbs, the assistant coach, was yelling at the guys, be a man, take the hit and make the shot.
Easy for Carl and easy for Shamgar.
God Shamgar, the freshman from New York City, has 8. Moore right back the other way with an answer. Foul, Jamel Thomas.
So much for half-court offense with that kind of speed. Get it down the floor, one pass, blow by, Ricky.
Speaking of speed, Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins, leaders in the Northeast Division. They're at the Continental Airlines Arena to take on the defending Stanley Cup champion Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Remember the NHL tonight with Bill Pito. All the highlights of all the games. It's Sports Center for the hockey fan, Tuesday through Saturday, either after the game or at 11:30 Eastern here on the Deuce.
And he didn't stroke that, Ricky Moore. Jim Calhoun just said so. He just put the hand out there. You got to let it linger, get a little rotation. That's a little better.
First guard off the bench of Calhoun, kid from Augusta, Georgia, has 5. The lead is 12. Providence has been able to score in the second half, but they have to do it on the defensive end if they want to have an opportunity in this game.
That should have been a steal. Good defensive position by Moore. He just didn't reach. I think he hurt his hand. That's why he didn't reach. Right. Yeah, they're going to take him out. I thought he had a perfect up by great footwork.
His hand or his right shoulder. So Ricky Moore quickly to the Connecticut sidelines, and Rashmel Jones will come in.
I wonder if that happened when he penetrated on the offensive end and took a hit. He didn't get hurt there. Now right here, see how he pulled it in?
Oh, yeah.
Now he had a steal, so he must have just reached and come out of the socket.
Felt it then when he popped out.
I wonder if it was something at the one end. It took that long to set in.
To make that kind of a move towards it. Well, you mentioned the first free throw he put up there wasn't the normal stroke that he has, right? Rudy Johnson lost the handle. Michael Brown comes away with it. Shamgar locates Derek Brown.
Now that's one of the counters. This is a good running team. You've got to run back as quickly as you run the other way. That's what Providence's difficulty this evening.
Shamgar has 10 assists. The Husky lead is 10. Crozier switch. Sheffer lost it.
He kept looking to see who's going to recover. Defense relaxed. Allen in position.
Ray Allen has 21. He's hit 5 of 6 in the second half, and Pete Gillen takes his final timeout. He still has his 20. 5 minutes left. The Huskies lead by 12. With Bill Raftery, Mike Tirico, Storrs, Connecticut, UConn looking for win number 22 on the season, win 21 in a row, leading by 12.
And the motion along the baseline, able to free up a sharpshooter. There's that NBA move. Take the hit and knock it down.
Ray Allen, who averages 23.5 a game, has 21, 8 of 12 shooting on the night. The Friars need to hit their threes, which they've been doing the last month, to have any hope in this game. And almost everyone on the floor can do it, too.
And they're trying to get Crozier involved here a little bit. Had his second opportunity. Look at Sheffer trying to help.
Crozier got Knight in the air. Good hustle by Derek Brown to keep it alive, but he couldn't finish this time. Gets this one and the foul.
Scrappy play, and that's what you have to meet when you play UConn. I mean, you've got to match that intensity, that enthusiasm. They create so many opportunities for themselves. You've got to get some cheap ones. You're a good pursuit of the basketball. Derek Brown sort of deserves this one, though. The first one did not go his way. This time, the opportunity for 3.
Ray Allen's foul, his second 5 on the Husky team. Good look at the junior college transfer from City College of LA. Top 30 junior college players in the nation last year.
So the tough thing when you play UConn, the different lineups that this guy runs. Calhoun makes you play. He's got a lot of Don Nelson in it. Now it's a small lineup. Knight the only big guy.
That's it for Crozier, and not the way he wanted to pick up number 5 in the backcourt, trying to double team the great Sheffer.
That puts a lot of pressure on him. Out extended. Very difficult. The one thing Pete, I'm sure, admonished him about was don't get the cheapie. Very tough position.
Impressive performance by Crozier, scoreless in the first half. Fouls out for the 3rd time this season with 16 points.
Within himself, I thought he played too. First half didn't get it going, but you eventually pay for the fouls that occur early, don't they? They mount up and in position there. I mean, he's their guy that can get some touches, create some defensive changes. In effect, Sheffer doubled up on him on that baseline drive, gave good weak side rebounding.
Jerome will get the other end of the 1-and-1.
Gonna be a good one, I think. Keeps getting better. Anytime you can shoot, you're a valuable commodity in the NBA.
Jerome makes the pair. He's got 17. Injury update on Ricky Moore. A sublexed right shoulder. He popped out and then back in. This happened to him in high school also in Augusta, Georgia. First time it's happened to him at UConn. He's on the bench. Garces. Travis Knight stronger to pull it away.
And they length of the floor pass. Just phenomenal. They use every inch of the floor. Jim Calhoun wants it intentional. And Jimmy Burr over there having a little discussion over it. But just beautiful basketball. Garces has to finish. Go up strong, put it in, and this doesn't happen. He thinks that the shove was illegal or illicit.
Players have to be more careful. You understand they want to get the foul. I mean, you saw what happened with Donald Foyle of Colgate. Glad to see that he just suffered a concussion. He came down on his head after somebody was trying to throw the shot. Caught him, and as the guys go up, they try to grab the rim or something to protect themselves, and they come down at all odd angles.
That's a career ender, too, in some cases. Fortunately, O'Donnell back and able to play. But that's part of the learning process, too. What is a foul? I mean, you can get some attention and try and negate. And at times you can't reach the guy. You just have to let it go. Coach will understand.
Rudy Johnson, 1 for 2, 7 points on the night. The Husky lead is 13.
Now, Pat Riley might not understand. Rudy Brown at his age. Clear out.
Shamgod got that step-on Sheffer that's been available to him. Now a double-double for God. Shamgod, 10 points, 10 assists.
Now you can see the match there was tough for Jerome.
Nice feed, Rudy Johnson to Kirk King. Michael Brown tries a quick back.
See, now it's got to go or you're dead. You know, that quick hitter, and that's because Austin is on the pines, too. Isn't that half-court set and the fluidity that they need? And he would demand the ball in that kind of a situation. At least Pete would make sure he got it.
Derek Brown came out to double. Going to be a free man somewhere.
He called it.
Kirk King, who was 10 for 10 when these teams met 4 weeks ago, is 7 of 8 tonight.
They can do a subtle put you away. And this is massaging just a little bit now. That's his game.
Finds Thomas. Jamel's 3 is off. King lost it. Knight was there to save.
Sheffer takes a blow here.
What the funny thing is about them is you have the foul on Shamgod. Last 2 or 3 minutes where the only crack left for Providence to likely get back in the game. Ray Allen doesn't crush you on the offensive end. It's all the other guys, and maybe because you pay attention to Calhoun's star, Allen. You've got to find him all the time.
Well, I think they have 2 things going, and that's one of them. And Sheffer's ability to find people, but also the contagious end of that. Allen is very unselfish. I mean, you run all your play. He makes all the other guys extremely sound. I mean, because you are stepping out and you are hedging towards him. So he attracts all that attention. So there's better passing lanes, better cutting lanes, all of those things attributable to the backcourt.
Jerome has 18. The lead is 16.
Some of the pro scouts filing out now. Stan Novak from Minnesota, Dick Baker with the Pistons. Want to write the report for them? Think they need help with Allen?
3-4. Shamgar got turned away by Allen, and Jerome's there to clean up. Allen broke down the court, and Sheffer shook his head. Yeah, I saw you. And I saw Kirk, too.
Uh-oh. Almost a fight between Murdoch and King. And fortunately, controlled by Steve Ballmer.
Jamel Thomas for three. That's his second three of the day. He has 6. 15-point lead in the final 100 seconds.
So you don't mind the pressure, but they're not protecting the basket, Providence. In all that rotation, you got to get back. Thomas, the only guy back there. 4 perimeter players. Keep your dignity. That's what you're looking for. And this is one of the toughest buildings in the league. Put this up there with Fitzgerald, West Virginia down the road. Look at the eyes. I mean, vision, the ability to make the pass. But that's all because of too many people up top. The ball brought one side, back man goes to the corner. You don't get to slide down by the opposite wing.
Sheffer, who had a triple-double earlier this year, now has 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. You mentioned pro scouts and about Ray Allen. Their own speed is a question, right?
Yeah, that's the one area that they'll throw at you. But finding, first of all, they don't let you run in the NBA. They control, they balance the floor. His problem would be isolations, top of the key on the wing when he is alone. But his feel for the game is extraordinary.
And in a 29-team league,
oh, goodness, he deserves it.
Pass like him.
It depends on how much they'd like to pay him as they get a little stoppage.
Foul on Kirk King, maybe a little bit of the after effects that you were pointing out earlier. But just the 6th on Connecticut. That's why Providence just inbounds up 17 or down 17.
The big thing for a guy like Sheffer is he can make a lot of money at home in Israel.
Allen finds Sheffer. Blocked Derek Brown, and they show control on their own.
Could you imagine 20 years ago saying to the head coach, we'll enjoy this crowd first. I've got this guy in Israel. He's going to really help your program. Never in my wildest dreams 20, 25 years ago. That's just koozie-like. Give up, and he's enjoying it too. He's got a little smile. But the game, you think of David Stern and the trips by coaches, it's worldwide, and they learn how to play, learn so much. And with the international play, USA basketball, the junior games, the world games, the festivals, it's just amazing how good they get at a young age.
One more for Derek Brown at the line. Providence's leading scorer tonight with 18. Reminder, don't go away. There's more great hoops on ESPN2. Maryland, North Carolina next. We'll get you down to Chapel Hill. Sheffer threw that one away. Kirk King sits out. Pete Gillen will look at the bracket when the Big East tournament seedings are set and say, please.
Put them on the other side?
Well, so will everybody. But leave Kirk King 19 of 20 from the field against Providence.
Oh, that's it. He's got to work on his game, though. Shouldn't miss one. And right away, I'm just looking at Sheffer saying he gave the foul. He is fallible, not infallible. The turnover, the defense here, there's got to be some shortcomings. What a run by King, though.
Dion Carson comes in. Listen to the hand for Sheffer, and it'll be Ray Allen as he departs.
Well, that'll be a message in the spring. They're going to make it awfully attractive, I think.
21 points for Allen on the night, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Another solid game for the junior out of South Carolina. At 23 in the first game against the Friars.
And, you know, Pete Gillen, this is a step back in a way because they've had a good run of basketball. And part of it is making these little adjustments with your point guard, understanding what you want done. And here's Sheffer getting Thomas's body. So he should bounce back and get his team right back, too, because they've turned it around. They've in good position to make a nice stretch run.
They have Pittsburgh up in Providence on Saturday. We mentioned their good losses. Lose by a couple to Villanova, at Villanova, by 4 at Syracuse. They get Georgetown once and up there in Providence. John Thompson gets to go back to his alma mater. This is a team that you don't want to see in the tournament, in the Big East tournament, which starts a month from today.
Well, these young guys will get smarter, and they've gotten smart already. Michael Malone, one of his assistants there, Brendan's son, Brendan, up in Toronto, was just talking before the game how they've improved and come along. And that's what you got to keep developing. You're going to have a step backward because of inexperience. And tonight, playing without Austin Kosher in toto, you know, didn't have the freedom to roam, had the foul problems early.
22 for the Friars is Justin Acker, as you look at Crozier, who fouled out about 4.5 minutes ago. Thomas driving over Antrick Kleber. Each team liberally substituting now, an opportunity for some of the players who see less time, like Kyle Chapman. There's Kyle Chapman. This place will go nuts. He's watched the other guys do it all year. Kyle Chapman, the senior.
Uh-oh! Send it in, Kyle! We could have done that. He's all smiles.
Kyle Chapman has played 16 minutes this year with 2 points. Gets 5 in that little stretch, especially on campus. Nice moment for the senior.
Well, that's the rewards of practicing every day, doing the dummy work, going through the opponent's offense.
Jamel. Hello, Jamel. We're sitting close enough. He did not call bank. Thomas in double digits has Chen.
If he did, we wouldn't believe him.
That's right. UConn a hoop away from 100. And they're going to get that hoop, perhaps.
This is they got a pass to the corner.
Kleber wanted that hoop. He's got the block on Thomas to close out another Husky win. They led by 10 at the half. They win by 22. Connecticut 22-1. 12-0 in the Big East. They've won 21 straight. Survived a grueling stretch of 11 games in 32 days. Now they get plenty of time off. They don't play for another 8. And West Virginia's Mountaineers come in here. There they are.
Not too bad, that duo.
Allen and Shepard, 21 apiece in win 22 for the Huskies. For Bill Raftery and our entire ESPN crew, all the women and men who worked on the broadcast, Mike Tirico, so long from Stores, back to the studio, and here's Reese Davis. All right, Reese, thank you. 22-point win, I should say, for UConn, 99-77. They've surrounded me with short guys wherever I go. They started Jerome Sheffer, who had a great game, rebounding and assisting as well. Long stretch, 11 games in 32 days. Why the enthusiasm tonight? Did you guys know you'll have a day off here coming up?
That might be part of the reason, but the truth is, you know, the coaching staff are doing a great job of keeping us focused and concentrate. You know, even though we won a lot of games, we take each game at a time and don't think about the long stretch that we have and the great season that we're having so far.
Well, you and Ray have been on the same page every time we see you guys. The unspoken communication between you two, it's developed over the last few years. Is it really as much of a difference as we make it out to be?
Well, we just have fun when we play with each other. Deron, he penetrates, I penetrate, I shoot, Deron shoots, and pretty much the whole team does the same thing. We work on practice every day, so when we step out in game time situation, we can do it real well.
21 points apiece. That makes the guy over to the other side. Makes his job a little easier, Bill.
Well, Mike, neither one of us could play like these two, but it's nice to be in their company. This team, Jimmy, just keeps getting better, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. And, you know, I think this is our 13th game in 36 days. And I think emotionally we did have a lot early tonight. And Providence really competed with us and made us play harder, and we really responded exceptionally well. I thought Deron, some of the guys really did a great job. Eric Haywood, by the way, was an early lift for us, but you're right. We keep finding ways to get ourselves involved in the game when we're not playing particularly well.
The three-pointer was a concern of yours coming into this game. The way they've been shooting it, they're second to you in the league. It stretched your defense a little. Your guys reacted much better in the second half.
Yeah, first half we gave up 4 for 7, which we didn't want. We gave up 14 offensive rebounds. We kind of switched that around the second half. But clearly they're a tough team to play. I mean, they got a chance to make the NCAA tournament, certainly.
Defensively, is your team there? You think that's the one area you'd like to get better?
Well, we're second in the country in field goal percentage defense. We only give up 37. I think we're very good at that. I just think we need right now a couple of days off and kind of regroup ourselves so we can make that stretch run.
Well, you're tough on these guys. Now, talk to me quickly about Deron. Mike and I got into this about the ability in the NBA. You have a great feeling that he can do it.
Well, I've had a lot of pretty good players that have played in the NBA for us, and I think Deron's as good a point guard as I've ever been involved with, the best here, certainly at Connecticut. And we have some other kids that go on and play that level. He finds people so well, and when the rules change with the isolation, I mean, he's going to be so strong, he can go by almost anybody.
Jimmy, thank you. We'll throw it over to my boss.
Guys, another nice job. Congratulations. Enjoy the day off. Coach said he'd give you 2, as a matter of fact, right? I don't know about 2. Jim Calhoun, Deron Sheffer, Ray Allen and company win by 22. That's it from Stores. Now let's go back to the studio. Reese Davis and Sports Smash. Reese?